This is brought to you by the 21-Day Challenge. If you're an entrepreneur or a high achiever, you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or lost, or you're just not tapped into that high potential that you know you're capable of, the 21-Day Challenge is here to reignite you and your self-belief so you can succeed like never before. What we'll do is over 21 days, you'll get crystal clear on your long-term goals, break those down into bite-sized steps, and every single day be held accountable to achieving that success. That's the 21-Day Challenge. If you want to find out more, message me, Chris at beergps.com, or find me on Facebook and let me know you are interested and ready to rock and roll. Next up is the iTunes review of the week, and this week it's by Miss Letran. And Miss Letran says, great info, great energy. Thanks, Chris, for sharing vital info on how to improve your mindset and bring your A game out. Thanks so much, Miss Letran. I appreciate you. And if you want to give us a review, go to beergps.com/iTunes or search Becoming Your Greatest Possible Self on the iTunes store and give us the review like that. Let us know what you love. Let us know what can be improved. Looking forward to hearing your feedback. Now, again, I'm going to be introducing Sam and Lori in a bit. Make sure you stick around. Make sure you have a pen and paper. Be ready to take notes. Be ready to take action on their wisdom because they're going to share the gold with you, and it's going to be a lot of fun, definitely. Let's introduce them and then bring them on the screen. Lori and Sam are the founders of Head Trash Anonymous, helping you break the addiction to negative thinking. Thank God. Plus, they have a live Facebook show, Soul Messages with Lori and Sam. And we're blessed to have them here with us today. Lori and Sam, you guys ready to rock the house, superstars?
Yeah, we're ready.
Oh, yes.
They're ready. Awesome. You're now live on Becoming Your Greatest Possible Self. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. We are going to have a lot of fun, definitely, today. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's always fun to talk with you, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. I was mentioning before, Sam, you've been on the show multiple times. You always bring the wisdom and the value, sharing your life journey, your life story. It's just been amazing. Also, you're in our mastermind. Like you grew and you thrived, and I see you just spreading your wings, Sam. I'm super, super proud of you and who you are and who you're becoming. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah. And Lori just has a whole nother dimension to what I do. So it's really amazing what she brings to the table.
Awesome. So we're going to dive right in, and we'll get to know you guys even more as we grow through this interview. And let's talk about wonder and possibility. We'll start with Sam. What does that mean to you? What does wonder and possibility mean to you? And then Lori will go over and ask you the same question, okay? So we'll start with Sam. What does it mean to you?
Yeah, the wonder, the possibility is once we're out of this mind, if you will, all this heavy nonsense in our mind, and we just look around, it's like, wow, I'm alive. I can do anything I want. There's no limitations. If there's any limitations, they're self-imposed.
Beautiful. So get out of the mind, get out of the limitations, and really break free. Experience that infinite possibility. Great share, Sam. What about you, Lori?
Well, I say get out of the mind and get into the heart. You cannot create without your heart, without your soul. Head trash is interference. It constantly just washes away all the truths from within. And you need to focus on the truth. When you're quiet and you release the head trash, then you really get to see the truth. You really can be yourself. And all of the wisdom and wonder that you have, you can use to your advantage. Your life becomes full.
Wow, so beautiful. I love it, Lori, and really tapping into our own truth. Like we really have to stand in that, to live a fulfilled, meaningful, purpose-driven, exciting, joyful, loving life. It's really knowing what is our truth and being guided by that. And it sounds like for you, the possibility and the wonder is the access to that truth and being open to that.
Yes, definitely. And Sam, you were quiet and you received the information that changed your life.
Yeah, that's about it. It's to relax. I always say the more you relax, the more you know. That heart knowing, that soul knowing, the more you can relax instead of all that busyness in the head.
Yeah, the heart knowing. I love that. That's super cool. Awesome. So let's talk a little bit more about what is Head Trash Anonymous. For anyone who's just now getting to know you both, what is that specifically?
Lori, you want to take this one?
Well, Head Trash Anonymous is a way of connecting with other people and really telling Sam's story about the incredible reversal of 5 incurable diseases. And he's a healthy man now. So that's one perfect example of a miracle. We all can create miracles when we're out of the head trash. Sky's the limit. There are infinite possibilities. And we look forward to sharing that with other people, helping them through their this addiction to, and these negative thoughts build upon each other, and they build and they build and they snowball. You start with one belief, and then it gets convoluted with another and another and another, and before you know it, you have you just create your whole life in terms of fear and anxiety rather than in wonder. So that's the way. That's what we want to bring to other people, to bring to the table for people to have this fullness of life. The rest of their life to be wonderful, to have these miracles and to share the joy with other people, to bring it forward to others. As we spread the wisdom and knowledge, it percolates through the consciousness of the masses. And we want to go and really reach the masses. We want to create global chapters. We have big plans. We're in the middle of almost not to finish with writing a book that I'm going to publish. And Sam, let's talk about that.
Yeah, but I really liked that. Really, we talked about being like, the real main point of the chapter is to be your unlimited, your limitless self, to live your life to your fullest. That you're getting is live your life to the fullest. Don't allow these beliefs to snowball, and eventually you end up with a landfill of head trash. And you just all you know is suffering and pain. That life isn't working for me. The sky is always falling down. Like nothing works out. You just constantly get in your own way, just bang your head against the wall constantly. You're like, why aren't things working?
Right. When you start settling for things, you know you're in head trash. When you are open to receiving your dreams, that's when you know you're in your reality. You've cleared away the head trash, and your inner self, that energy within you, that intelligence starts to manifest, and you're able to have the things that you choose to have in your life, rather than settling, saying, that's enough, that's good enough for me, I can't get better, I don't deserve more. All of these thoughts that are impediments to your progress and to your joy in life. We want everyone to experience the bliss and the wonder like a baby. You see a baby, it just, coos and laughs and is ready for anything, and children believe they can do anything and be anything, and they're correct. We lose this innocence when we grow and we start having head trash that creates limitations and boundaries and roadblocks to our ability to enjoy life and have all the success and prosperity and abundance. That is a birthright.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. I love it. I love it. You guys are like sharing the gold. This is exactly what I knew would be coming from this interview. So let's go back into the journey a little bit. I know, Sam, you've been on multiple times sharing about your journey, but just for anyone who's just now getting connected with you, why don't you share a little bit more about your journey and how you got to where we are today?
Yeah, because, the way it started off, at age 6, run over by a van, the head trauma, the broken bones, dealing with all of that, being in the hospital for a year. But when I had my accident, they didn't really know much about the brain. They still don't know. But the brain injury led into all sorts of mental illnesses, mental problems, which manifested into bipolar disorder. So I was suicidal in my 20s. Then I also had a lot of self-hate, a lot of self-criticism. And when you do that, the body starts attacking itself. So I start to attract autoimmune diseases into my system. So I had psoriasis, psoriatic arthritis. Then the biggest one at age 37 was multiple sclerosis, where I lost the ability to walk.
Wow.
So then by the age of 44, I discovered my relaxation process. Because I never, if anybody told my bipolar OCD brain how to meditate and the rules to meditation, I would have never gotten out of the brain. I'd be like, am I doing this right? But we really teach people is in our Head Trash Anonymous is skilled relaxation, if you will. That there's no rules to relaxation, but there's a skill to it. There goes the mind. There goes the mind thinking about the day, what's going to happen tomorrow. It's just coming back. Where are my feet? Where are my hands? What do I see? Just getting yourself back to the present. As Eckhart Tolle talks, the power of now, the power of being fully here. And if you're not fully here and you're in the mind, you just disempowered yourself.
And Sam is not unique. Those of you who are listening, you can do what Sam did. We all can have miracles, and miracles are the norm. We think there are something exceptional. Only certain somebody can have that. Only a special individual can have that. That's not the case.
Nope.
We are part and parcel of the universe, and we deserve and we can have these miracles every single day. And I'm so happy that Sam could share his story, that he went from a disabled man to a functional, very successful human being. It's an inspiration to all of us. I had a lot of childhood trauma that I had to work through. So my recovery, it was a little slower than Sam. Sam, you actually did all that in how many months?
About 16 months.
Amazing.
That's so fast.
That is amazing. For me, it's been slower. It's been releasing trauma from a dysfunctional childhood, from abuse. And I have to say, though, every time I think about where I was and where I am now, I realize I have created a miracle. So, yeah, Sam and I have very different stories, but we are together because we understand the power of now, the power of truth. To just to become still, the answers come to you, and we know everything. We can tap into that infinite body of knowledge, the Akashic records, if you will, where since time immemorial, every thought, every action is recorded, and we can tap into that wisdom and knowledge. We have access to it once you quiet the mind, once you stop the chatter, the head trash, and then you can be like Sam. Come out the other side.
Or be like Lori. You come out the other side too, because you had your trials, you had your journey too. There's some different types of journeys. Some are very quick, and some are just a slow, steady progress. And there's no right way. And what was really coming to me just earlier, because Chris always talks about your greatest self. Nobody can be their greatest self. Chris doesn't go to somebody, oh, you can never be your greatest self. Everyone's in equal opportunity. Everyone can be their greatest self. No one's diminished from that. The only thing that's diminishing you is your head trash, saying you're not deserving, you're not worthy.
And we are great. We are great. We're like the sun, but every one of us like a ray of the sun, and we all shine bright.
Yeah.
And see that inner light. When you find that inner light, it's unmistakable, and it's a wow. It's an aha moment.
So Lori, what specifically brought you to, I hear spirituality, I hear head trash, knowledge and wisdom. I hear, your journey has been unique as well. I'd love to hear a little bit more about how yours went.
About my journey and my life so far?
Yeah, specifically the challenging parts and the wisdom that you gained from the events.
Well, as you know, a victim of abuse, it was difficult for me to actually believe I deserved to have anything. It's just over time, it's an understanding. I can't tell you it went from this point to that. It's just a process and overall understanding of relaxation. I had it started when I graduated college and I got my BA, and I had more time finally. And I started to I was interested in the spiritual arena, the New Age, of course, and I always was in that anyway, in that realm.
That's awesome.
And I started learning to relax because I was a jittery, very nervous person and very anxious, and I couldn't sit still. And after going to a workshop, the mentor there could not believe how I changed so quickly. I learned to sit quietly. I learned to focus. It was amazing. And that was the beginning of my realization. And then it was slow, incremental changes over time. We're all a work in progress. I'm not 100% there yet. At times, I still have these terrifying nightmares. And, I'm still working through some of it. But for the most part, through my ability to create in my quiet time, my life has changed completely around 180 degrees. And I say that with unwavering certainty.
Yeah, and honestly, it's like it's always going to be the process. It's always a becoming phenomenon or an unlearning of the things that you picked up along the way. You just get to deeper and deeper layers and levels of the quote unquote onion. So, I really, really acknowledge you for taking on the journey, and also have grace and compassion for yourself. Understand that you are where you're supposed to be. You're at the perfect place. You are like on fire, amazing, transforming right before our eyes, becoming the butterfly. And it's so beautiful. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Beautiful. So as far as being able to clear that head trash, Sam, I know you mentioned about being still, being able to just sit and allow life to happen. And is there anything else that we really need to know about the head trash? And could you give us a specific definition of what head trash is for anyone who's just learning about it for the first time?
Yeah, you can think of head trash, anything that takes you out of this moment.
Okay.
It could be like, forgetting that yesterday ended last night. You could be still living in yesterday or the day before or the year before. You have to realize that our future guessing or future gazing, like what this is going to look like in the future. Anytime you're not here in this moment, you're taking away your power, your strength, that everything that we want is right here. And we can visualize the future right here. Like, what's the next step going to be? What's the next step? The mind always wants to know that last answer, but it's a step by step by step.
Yeah.
When I sat in my relaxation process, I had no concept of healing. I just wanted inner peace. And that's when I discovered that inner peace creates the transformation. It's not from the mind forcing its will. It's by relaxing into the peace. That's where the transformation happens, because once the inside becomes right, then everything else falls into line. So if you have the right diet, the right exercise, but you're in stress and anxiety, the body's still very unhealthy. Because you can eat right all you want, you can do exercise all you want, but if your mindset isn't right, then they go against each other.
Yeah, and also really getting to that place of peace is super important, whether you are attempting to heal from an illness or something that's going on physically, or also mentally. A lot of mental fog and challenges come up for people in just day-to-day life, as well as people who are attempting to achieve ultra high levels of success. I know we have a variety of different people who tune into the 12-hour marathon, and I think a lot of them have a big vision and want to impact the world in big ways, or at least they're on the path to discovering how they do that. And head trash is something that takes them out of the ability to grow, the ability to live in the moment, get the most out of it, take actions that produce results. Would you say that that's accurate?
Yeah, that's actually accurate, because you'll realize, like, one of the most successful people in the world is Richard Branson. And he doesn't allow this to slow him. If you see him, he's always having fun. He's always enjoying himself. He's not stressed about anything. His thing is just like, F it, let's do it.
Yep.
He just has no hesitations. He just jumps right into it and figures it out as he goes along, because that's how life works. If you try to map out life completely, that becomes head trash, because it blocks you. So you may even have a goal to, I want to make $1 million. Well, maybe if you relax, maybe you would have made 5 million, 10 million. But you just got to relax and just say, what is my next step? What is my recipe? Yeah. That's one thing when I see some of these coaching programs and programs out there, it's somebody else's recipe. It worked for them, but yours has to be tweaked for it to work with you. So you can take that as a rough template, but don't try to follow T to a T. Take it as a template and then modify it for you.
Well, when you're in that space, because whenever you're in doubt, you're in head trash. It's when you know what you know and are positive, there's an unmistakable knowing. You are in your truth. You have let go of the head trash. Once the doubts come in, you're out of your truth and into the head trash. It's as easy as that. You feel relaxed. You feel happy. There's no question about what you choose to have. You know it's going to happen. And things start to happen, and that gives you impetus to continue relaxing and allowing, not forcing or analyzing. When you're analyzing, your mind is going wild with the information and trying to sort it. When you're in your peaceful self, the mind is quiet. The gaps between the thought are longer. and you feel like you just let go. So it's pretty clear when you're out of the head trash and into your peaceful self.
Yeah, it's powerful. I did a Vipassana 10-day silent meditation retreat last year, and I felt like it was, for me, more of an achievement of, hey, I can do it. I can, be silent for 10 days. And they recommended to do an hour of meditation in the morning and an hour of meditation in the evening. And so I did it for, I think, 2 days, and then started cutting my time down. And then I stayed pretty consistent with a 15-minute meditation. And just recently, I've been hearing a bunch of people, like, I feel like I've attracted back into my space, hey, hour-long meditation in the morning, hour-long meditation in the morning. And I committed to that and have been doing it about 5 out of 7 days a week, about an hour in the morning. I'm curious, do you have a recommended amount of time of meditating or stillness or those activities of just being present in the moment?
You want to answer that, or should you answer that?
Yeah, what I say, there's usually no prescribed time. What I really tell people is you want to start with like a minute or 2 minutes to begin with and just learn to train that. If you feel called to do 5-10 minutes, but what I tell people is once you can't come back to the present moment, you get lost in the story, stop, go do something else. Otherwise, you're going to make that head trash story even stronger because just sit there and ruminate in your story. Yeah. And your point of the meditation is to be focused in this moment, in the here and now. If you're not in the here and now and you're just daydreaming, thinking about what happened yesterday, what's going to happen tomorrow, just get up, walk around, do something else, because that makes that stronger. It makes the mind more entrapped in the thought stream. And you just want to unwind that. So I usually sit between 10 and 15 minutes a day, sometimes 20 minutes, but there's no prescribed formula. Some days if I want to, I can sit. What I try to do, I try to mix things up in my mind so it doesn't get into any habit. So I try to sit in different spaces. I try to sit in different times and just try different things. Because sometimes when I work with people that want to deepen their spiritual practice, I say, go sit someplace else than where you normally sit. Go somewhere else and see how the mind reacts. They'll probably protest and say, this isn't right. And it gives you something to work on, that story.
Wow.
Recently I posted something on Facebook. You cannot prescribe an intangible, and that's exactly what we have here. If something is intangible, there's no prescription attached to it. In other words, as Sam said, you just know how long you need to be in that relaxed state. When you get fidgety, when the mind starts getting restless, like Sam says, it's time to stop.
Yeah.
There is no prescribed formula. Every day is different. Some days you eat a lot, some days you sleep a lot, some days you sleep very little, some days you eat very little. Every day is different. The human body and the human mind, there are fluctuations. There are fluctuations around you affecting you. We don't know how subliminally these things affect us on a subconscious level. So, of course, you can't prescribe every single day this. It's not a dose of medication. If you start getting into that, then and analyzing it, and you're out of your truth. You need to be relaxed, and you can feel when it's time to stop. That's it.
Powerful. It's powerful. Where do people get stuck along the journey of really mastering their head trash? Where do you, they've started, they are meditating, they're noticing the stories, they're doing the meditations. Where do you think they usually get stopped?
Well, usually what they get stopped is it's a constant unfolding, if you will. So the mind is in a place of remembering and forgetting. Forgetting our truth and then remembering our truth. When we get the mind up in the stories that I'm too busy, then we neglect that self-care time. And then the story starts to get stronger and stronger and stronger. Then maybe 6 months later realize, oh, look at these stories, look at these limitations that I created. So it's just you do this practice every day just to remember your truth, that all your power is right here, right now. So just a constant remembering, forgetting phase. That's where people think, oh, I did this for a week, and they forgot about it. It's like going to the gym for one day and expecting to transform, or go to the gym one day and you get to the gym, you look in the mirror the next day, you don't see any changes.
Exactly.
And so you go to the second day, you look in the mirror the third day, still no changes. Right. So it's so small, these changes, you think it's not working, but it's just this constant sitting. So if everybody goes to the gym, even for 10 minutes a day, over 30 days, they will look different. But every day you won't see that little incremental change.
It's like the growth of your hair or the growth of your nails. You don't notice it till it's like a month later. It's like, I think it was an inch a month. Or however much. Excuse me, hairdressers, correct me if I'm wrong. It grows a certain amount each month. You don't notice it till it's grown. That's the kind of thing. People get impatient. They want magic. They don't realize that it takes as long as it takes. It won't take very long if you're in your peace, but still, we're in the human experience. Things come in the way. We have children, we have family, we have jobs. So people think that if it doesn't happen immediately, it's not worth it and it's not working. Things can happen instantaneously. I'm not saying they cannot. Sometimes they don't. And there are factors why. Sam, take over. What would interfere?
It could be everything you mentioned.
Exactly.
Their diet, their sleep, what's happening in their life. If the train is late, if their car broke down, there's all these kind of factors that can inhibit from knowing your truth. You could be going someplace and the car breaks down, then your head trash takes over and thinks it's the worst thing in the world. But if you relaxed and really thought, like, maybe my car broke down for a reason, and maybe there was an accident up ahead or something like that. It's really life gets very magical, this sense of wonderment. When you really are in your truth, it's like, I need to go here, but then the car breaks down. It's like, well, why did this happen? There's usually, maybe there's it could be nothing, but there could be something else that maybe you weren't supposed to be there. Maybe by the car breaking down, it shows you there's a trigger. So we're waiting for the repair car to come, or the repair truck. You just sit there and you just be quiet. And you just try to relax and realize that you're always at the perfect place in the perfect time, whether the mind likes that or not, because everything is a growth opportunity.
Well, we don't see the bigger picture. We're in it. We're the trees inside the forest. Sometimes we cannot see the forest. We don't know the reason for things. But if you're accepting and you're in that quiet place and observing it, you will have greater understanding and patience. You say, oh, this is an experience. Okay. And you look at it as such, as an experience, not as a curse or I'm a victim. Oh, why this happened, and start blaming the blame game. Oh, you should have done that. You did, or I didn't do this. I should have changed the oil. On and on and on. The stories keep building and building and building till you're in a frenzy. Instead of just saying, okay, this happened. What should I do next? And be relaxed. That's all. If you're late for something, being upset and anxious isn't going to make you get there early. We can't see that. We can't take the steps necessary that we need to in a situation because we're so busy blaming ourselves and everyone else. We don't have a minute to even look at what happened.
I hear being present is super important because you're not in the story. You're not focused on the future or the past or why me, blah, 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 blah. And you're able to just be present in the moment with what's what's the opportunity here? What is this gift? What was I given? Maybe there was something up ahead. I think we can give the event whatever meaning we want, but really it's just an opportunity to say, you know what? It didn't go as planned. How do I show up? How do I respond? How do I appreciate what I do have? What is going well? Focus on the good that is right now in my life. So I think that's super powerful. And we have Jill Follis Ippolito, who's out in the audience. And Jill said, you could find out your dad isn't your biological dad. Talk about an opportunity for growth. Definitely an opportunity for growth. And that's, life will throw us curveballs, and it's how do we respond to them? When we have a daily practice of meditating, whether it's at the same time or different times for different lengths of time, whatever, we're able to really adapt ourselves to life and to recenter ourselves, get good at recentering, bring back, being aware, being present, being mindful, so to speak, or maybe mindful isn't the word because you don't want to mindful of thoughts. I think I've heard you say that before, Sam.
It does negate the process. The words have power.
Yeah, and this just reminded me too of Nick Hahn used to say, once you clear that one mountain, you discover there's more mountains. It's like there's always more mountains because we're here to grow, to thrive. So you think you accomplished something that was really a curveball, then more curveballs get thrown at you. And it's easy to mind go back into victim mode. Why me? It's like, all right, bring it on. Let me see how much I can grow here.
Yeah. So powerful. I love it. So we're evolving through our journey. We're learning how to be present. We're learning how to be in the moment, pay attention. What else do we need to know to be able to manage this head trash? What other pitfalls might we need to watch out for? What else do we need to master? What else do we need to focus on to really grow ourselves?
The biggest thing is to realize that you're the only thinker in your head, that ultimately all these choices are up to you. Are you doing something that's supportive to you or something that's non-supportive? If it's non-supportive, it's probably a mental story saying you're not worthy and you're beating yourself up. Maybe you're eating sweets because you don't feel good about yourself and you don't eat the best, you don't take care of yourself because you're doing non-supportive habits. That's what it really is. It's a habit. We get comfort by our habit that this is familiar. Let's do this. The mind's really resistant to change. The mind doesn't like to take that leap of faith in self. And ultimately, if you want to be your greatest self, you have to believe in yourself and trust yourself fully.
Yeah. Because if you don't believe you deserve it, it's not happening. And you know, it's about deserving. It's about self-respect, empowerment, to stand in your own light, to stand in your own truth, to feel strong within your being. Because when you are quiet and you feel that energy from within, you feel strong, you feel empowered, not powerful, not power wielding, but strong within yourself. And that is a wonderful thing. We human beings, we will encounter, people think, oh, okay, I did this and, everything's fine now. But you have to really keep at it, keep this. Sam, for example, don't you ever sometimes have thoughts that come in your head and that you have to realize the head trash? It's not that we never have it. Let's make the audience understand. It's not that you're going to clear it up, never no more head trash the rest of my life. I'm done. Every single day, the train's going to be late. Someone elbows you, someone curses you, someone spits on you. Something happens. Your boss yells at you. That puts you in that moment. And head trash starts to percolate through the mind. So what, you have head trash, I have head trash, you have head trash. It's going to be a forever journey, but one with love.
Right.
That's what it is, with love, with patience.
Right. This is why I suggest, and what we talk about in the book is every day, at the end of the day, taking this daily mental shower. What opinions did I pick up? What beliefs did I pick up today? What judgments did I pick up today that are not serving me? So we take this physical shower every day. Most of us do, but do we do anything with this mental shower? I know for myself, I had 40 years of garbage that was never cleared out. It just built up. No one told me that you need a mental shower. You need to get rid of all those beliefs and judgments and opinions that are not serving you, especially the beliefs from other people that you took as your own.
Yeah. Super, super powerful. And I love that, there's, who is it? Someone said, we bathe daily. I think it might have been Zig Ziglar. We bathe daily. So why don't we, do that with our mind daily? Why don't we wash our mind, clean our mind, refresh our mind with personal development and things like that? So I really love the aspect of not so much putting in, but clearing out and emptying out the excess, the unserving, the things that don't work. So I really love that. And also we had Jill who said, I found I had to forge into my creative side more to move through the mind crud. And I love that she used creativity as a way to access the present moment. And, people who are into adrenaline sports like dirt bike riding or skydiving, that's really great. And also for me, I know that one of my accesses to being present is martial arts. And so I signed up for a course. I think I'm starting it tomorrow. Just like to go try it out, test it out kind of thing and see if I like the dojo for this martial arts. But I know there's an element of being present, of being disciplined, of being in the moment that can only happen when there's like a fight or flight kind of moment, and I just get to be there and be present with the emotions that come up, and I get to confront whatever kind of uncomfortabilities or I'd rather be somewhere else or whatever mental chatter comes up and be there, because any kind of deviation from being present could mean the difference between a successful, attempt of a punch or a move and getting my butt knocked on the ground.
Right. But you really nailed this. One of the big head trash games is I'd rather be someplace else, which is denying the present moment. You are where you are. If you want to be somewhere else, that's the mind giving you a story. There's an opportunity for you right here in this moment. That's what it really is. As Eckhart Tolle talks about, you can either accept this moment, remove yourself from this moment, or change the moment. All else is madness. If you deny this moment exists, it's madness. If you want to deny that it does not exist, that's a spiritual bypass, and you get this bypass. Because the mind doesn't like the comfort. The mind doesn't like to challenge itself. It wants to be comfortable. This is a new situation. I'm unfamiliar with this.
Yeah. When you're in your creative mode, you are in your heart center. They are directly linked. Also for physical activity, I'm a fitness instructor, and I know about when I'm in that moment, you're doing that exercise, there's nothing else, and that really brings you to the here and the now. You're feeling your body, you're feeling it, you're in it, and that's an important. I teach also at a college physical education, and I see how this transformation as the weeks go by, the semester starts to move on, the weeks pass, the difference in the concentration and the way people are interacting with each other as well. So there's a lot of dynamics that go on when you're in the present moment through a physical activity, perhaps like you like, or I like physical movement. But as long as you're in the heart center with your emotions, you can create. And that creativity blossoms out. It's an extension of yourself, of your soul.
Yeah, it just reminded me of a funny story. You're talking about physical fitness. When I was dealing with MS and I just began yoga, my balance was quite poor when I started yoga. When I noticed when I wasn't really paying fully attention to the yoga pose, I would fall over. So it just told me that I wasn't here in my power. I gave it up and the body would just topple. So I quickly learned that. Stay focused. Stay here.
You had to. Right?
I had to.
No
it was.
Choice. You'd be tumbling all over the place, huh?
Yeah.
It's amazing. You used to see him now. He goes to the gym, and he's my partner. So I see pretty darn healthy. Great appetite.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I'm curious if there was one change that you could empower the world to make. What would it be? And I'm going to ask each of you, and it could be the same answer or different answers. But Sam, if you could make one change, empower people to make one change in the world, what would that be?
The one change I think that would be most important is probably in our school years to teach, a stillness practice, a mindfulness practice, or at least make the students aware that you have thoughts, you have these stories, but they're not the absolute truth. It all depends upon your perspective, that what's good for you is bad for another. What is right for you is left for another. If they just teach perspective in school, not even meditation, but just teach perspective, that it's all relative to what you're seeing, that our thoughts aren't the absolute truth. It's upon who you're seeing it from. It's like two people standing right next to each other at a crime scene. They see two different things. It's all based on perspective, just teaching that. And I think that would have the ripple effect into our adult years, because we're learning all this stuff in history. And we just saw this at a comedy show. Everyone knows, who Lincoln was, but who was the president before Lincoln?
Got us there, right?
but we learn all this information in school, but we don't remember some of this stuff, like who was the president before. That was Buchanan. But we learned this, we knew this in like 10th grade. We knew it would be on Adele who that president was, Buchanan. Right. Because we had to know it. But later in life, it didn't serve us. But we learned perspective in school that would always serve us. That I'm not always right. It depends on my viewpoint. I'm not seeing through their eyes. I'm not sure how they're interpreting the situation.
I want to say it's just to instill the belief that you can have heaven on earth, that you can have the life the way you want it to be. To instill that belief in children, not to dissuade them, but to persuade them to keep within their dreams, their beliefs, their heart center. And just keep telling them over and over, and you have this, you can do this, it's yours. And really believe that when you say it, because children know when you're lying. And just instill that in them. We can have heaven on earth. We do. Yes.
Yeah. It's so amazing that you both focus on the children. I think that's so powerful, because it's like the ability to change people's opinion who are not willing, who are not open to it, who don't want to, is very, very difficult. You know, it's like in growing a business, you don't, like, a lot of people think, oh, I'm just going to go help everyone. But if you have a specific person who's most receptive and ready for your message, and they're going to be the champions of it, they're going to do the homework, they're going to show up on time, they're going to say, this is freaking valuable, and they're going to pay you what you're worth. That's who you want to work with. You don't want to try to reach everyone, people who don't have money, people who don't really need the service right now, people who want to do it next year. No, we don't want those people. We want the people who are ready right now. And I think it's important to recognize that kids are the quote-unquote ready right now, because if we do not do it right now, then they will grow up to be the exact same as the, unconscious paradigm that has plagued, I don't want to say plagued, but exists in a lot of the world.
Yeah, I call it, in our book, I call it the head trash epidemic.
Yeah.
That it's actually an epidemic of head trash, that most people are just completely lost with this head trash. But it really needs to start in the youth. That's really where it begins, before all of our beliefs become really ingrained and hardened and opinions. You can see some people today that believe certain things and have certain opinions that are not based in truth or facts. They just believe that this is it. And you can't sway them because they're not changeable. They're not open anymore. But the youth is open.
What about the animals? If you want to learn unconditional love and beingness, being in the moment, you have a pet. They're in the moment, and they know how to love unconditionally. We can learn from them.
Yeah, especially dogs. Dogs are amazing.
Cats too. I have cats.
Yeah, all these great animals.
I feel like
right.
I feel like sometimes cats can be more cunning and strategic. They're like long-term thinkers.
But there's a quote that's coming to me that I'm trying to remember it exactly. Go back to what Chris was saying. A man convinced against his will is still of the opinion still. Yep.
That's so powerful.
Well, we are just powerful human beings. We have this power. Yeah. It's when the head trash takes over, we lose our power.
It's that simple.
It's that simple. It's like standing in quicksand. You're not standing on ground. That's it. So the most complex things are the simplest, really. We make things complicated. What's the simplest? What's one sentence, one word right in front of you is the truth. All this convolution and all of this, that's head trash. You are who you are. And what are you?
Right. You're this perfect spirit.
Exactly. I was waiting. That Sam's.
You're either perfect spirit or consciousness or this one energy, that we all have this one energy within us, because we have all these changing bodies, but the one who sees through the eyes never changes. The one who touches never changes. That witness, that one energy that we all are. As you said earlier, it's the sun. We're all the ray of the sun.
Right. It's just one, but we have, there's a way of expressing things.
Yeah, we're the expression of the one. This body here is the expression of the one energy. But we get lost into separation. It's another head trash story that I'm all alone. I got to do this all myself. It's just those stories. There's 1,000,001 flavors of head trash.
No, we're not talking about hive mentality. We're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Let's clear that up, too.
Yeah, it's not necessarily that. You do have your own journey, your own path through this, but everything is just an experience. It's neither good or bad. just the current experience for you to grow, to expand your level of consciousness, your depth of awareness. So each experience can help with that. Or if you're in victim mentality, it can hinder. You know, if you're see everything as a victim.
For me,
the sky is falling. The sky is falling.
You know, and that's what you're going to have. You're going to create that, and that's going to be your experience. That's what's up.
Wow.
So,
Powerful people. Okay. And I'm curious, with you two combined into Head Trash Anonymous, what do you see as possible? How have you seen yourselves grow working together and being together?
I just think it's a completely different dynamic. Like, I know the male experience, but the female experience is completely different. I have no knowledge of that. So Lori can jump into those specific female issues, and I can handle more of the male issues, if you will, that they are different, you know, these different experiences. Like, she's had that, you know, the difficult childhood, the abusive childhood. So she can help other abuse victims like that. And I have the chronic illnesses, the health challenges. So it brings a completely different element into it, because, you know, we all have millions of different experiences, and it's like a yin yang. You have to have the balance, the male energy versus the female energy. It's a completely different animal, if you will. It's that we are different animals, the male and the female. It is really.
Well, as a practicing astrologer, I have a different way of viewing it. I take his astrological natal chart and mine, combine it, and it becomes one chart. And I can see astrologically the potential is very, very large to reach a lot of people and heal them through love and compassion and wisdom. And that is our goal, to reach as many people as we can to help people. Because we suffer when we're in the set rush. We get diseases, we have bad relationships, we don't succeed, we suffer, we feel sad, we feel lost. People are in a lot of pain and confusion, and there are wars because people are in lack mentality. They think there's not enough. It's all wrong, and it causes all this pain and suffering and dissension. So we're trying to help as many as we can. You're
right now,
I'm not interested. We let them go their way.
Yeah, right now I'm seeing one of the best ways to do that is to create content on social media, have conversations with people. Do you see that there's any other impactful ways? I know you guys are writing a book. Any other like really great ways that you're doing it, or that you would recommend people in our audience can do it as well?
Yeah, because one of the things we did, because we have our meetup groups, but that's a physical meeting. So we have actually a Facebook group, a virtual global chapter, if you will, Head Trash Anonymous global chapter. And we have nearly 600 members in there. And after our interview here, we're having a global chapter meeting. Awesome. So we're going to help people how to get out of this. And we'll be doing some actual practices in there. Because it's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing to experience this deep inner peace. I lead people through a very simple 5-10 minute process so they can just feel this deep inner peace that you experience in your meditation. You know, this really deep peace that is there, this state of presence. And people that don't meditate, that don't have any experience of this, even meditators are like, wow, I never felt a peace like this.
Yeah.
Because I don't have any rules.
Wow.
Just relax.
Exactly. No prescription formulas here, no doses. Just a daily dose of happiness. That's it.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Anything else from you, Lori, that you would recommend people do to really experience the benefit of this and spread the mission, spread the message, spread the awareness?
Have a heart for yourself, and you can have a heart for other people. If you really take care of yourself through self-care and self-acknowledgement, letting go of the doubts and the blame and the shame, and you really feel good about yourself, that's going to radiate. You're going to be a role model for others. You're going to attract other people like that. And that is contagious. Happiness is contagious.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm looking to have, more and more people in the bliss state, happier and healthier and prosperity. Why not? You know, let them have the abundance. It's for all of us.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, there's no lack of abundance into the world. If you're in lack mindset, like in New York, you can go down to Park Avenue and you can see all the wealth there. You know, you can go anywhere in your neighborhood, you can see these McMansions. If your mind's in poverty, it's like, well, why not you? Only thing that's stopping you is your mind. Maybe you have this one idea and you just build upon this idea, taking the next step and the next step. Everybody thinks they're overnight success. But if you see business people are usually successful after 7, 10 years of doing the daily work of taking this action, this step. But the mind wants it right now. But if they did that daily little step in 10 years, they would have the big mansion. They would have all the abundance that they want if they're willing to take those daily little incremental steps.
There's no limit to it. We can all have it.
So powerful. So powerful, you two. I love it. I love it. So let's start wrapping it up. Final thoughts from each of you, and then we will let people know how they can stay connected with you, how they can continue their journey with you. We'll start with Lori. What are your final thoughts from this interview? What do you want people to really receive and take action on?
Well, first of all, thank you for having us. This is a wonderful moment. My first radio interview. My final thought is just allow things to happen into your life. Don't push them away. See what happens and how wonderful your life can become, and experience it from within and share that out. Sam?
Yeah, what's coming to me is, just realize that you're doing your very best in this moment, given your information, the facts you have about this moment, your understanding of this moment, and how present you are to this moment. Are you really wrapped up in the story, or can you step back and see the universal perspective of this? Yeah. Just to relax, realize you're doing your best of where you are right now in this time and space, but just don't judge yourself. Just accept yourself, and things will work out.
Okay.
So amazing. How do they stay connected with you two superstars?
Well, they can find us, we do have a live Facebook show. They can find us at Soul Messages with Lori and Sam. Okay. They can find us over at Head Trash Anonymous.
Okay.
And there's also the Head Trash Anonymous Global Chapter. That we have our head trash meetings in there. We also do our soul readings in there as well. So we mix everything, because it's all this intuitive wisdom is within all of us. So when we give these soul messages, we're just basically telling you what's best, because there's this universal consciousness, but you just can't hear your own wisdom because the mind's blocking your own truth.
Wow.
Because the more you can surrender the mind, the more you know your truth, your way forward. And one of my favorite sayings is that your soul never goes dark. It's always this bright lighthouse leading you to, it's like your way shower. This is the correct way to go. And the mind is the item, the head trash is constantly trying to slam you to the rocks. So your light's always leading you to safety, the path, but the mind's always slamming you, locking you in the box, saying you're limited, you can't do this, you're not worthy, you're not deserving. All those stories, just let it go. Another one of the favorite stories for any entrepreneurs watching this, another big story is it's not the right time.
Right. Because it's never the right time.
Because all we have is now. There's no guarantee of the future. So you're just doing, what can I do?
Why not now?
What little step can I do? I even tell people, you can have an idea, write it on paper. Start doing something with that idea. Even start kicking it around. Maybe it's just writing it on paper.
That's the conception.
Yeah, just the conception. Just writing it on a piece of paper.
And then the birth, and then the rebirth.
So amazing. I love it. I love it.
Phoenix behind him. It's all about that rebirth.
Yeah.
The Phoenix.
Yep. Oh wow.
Every Wednesday we birth and rebirth 12 hours straight. It's
you're radiant. I can see that glow from within.
Thank you.
Really embody these principles. We can see that you're shining bright.
Yeah, and you realize everyone can be their greatest self if they could just believe themselves.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's it.
Yes.
That's it. Awesome. Lori, Sam, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for teaching us how to remember who we are. What we just need to do, just be present, release that which doesn't serve us. And you two are amazing. And anyone listening or watching, definitely stay connected with them. And everyone who joined us on the Facebook Live, thanks so much for showing up and coming and supporting. And Sam and Lori, thank you. And we hope you have the best week ever.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome. We'll see you soon, okay?
Bye-bye.